strange, isn't it? How someone can be gone from your life and yet still live in your chest. You tell yourself you're over them, that you've moved on, that your mind understands everything. But then, one quiet night, when the world slows down, their memory slips in again, soft and familiar, like a song you thought you'd forgotten. You remember the way they laughed, the way they made you feel seen, the small details that no one else ever noticed. And for a moment, it feels like your heart didn't get the memo that they're gone. Because even though your mind has let them go, your heart, it's still holding on. It's one of the cruelest contradictions of being human, knowing someone isn't right for you, but still missing them like they were home. It's like your heart and your mind are living in different timelines. Your mind sees the truth, the pain, the reasons it ended. But your heart, it remembers the connection, the warmth, the version of you that existed when they were around. Psychologists call this emotional imprinting. It's when someone becomes woven into your nervous system. Their voice, their touch, their presence, it all becomes familiar, safe, known. And even when they leave, that emotional pattern doesn't just disappear. It lingers quietly inside you. You might tell yourself you're done. You might even start seeing someone new. But then one small thing reminds you of them. A song, a scent, a city street. And suddenly the past feels closer than it should. Because healing isn't logical, it's emotional. And emotions don't care about closure. I think sometimes we underestimate how deeply connection can live in us. When you truly love someone, they become part of your emotional DNA. You built routines, memories, tiny rituals that made you feel alive. And when they leave, your body still expects them. Your heart still waits for the text that won't come. Your mind knows it's over, but your body, your emotions, they're still catching up. And that's where the real heartbreak happens. In the space between what you know and what you feel, you see your mind is rational. It sees the incompatibility, the red flags, the reality. But your heart doesn't care about logic. Your heart is nostalgic. It clings to what it felt, not what it endured. It remembers the good days, the softness, the intimacy, and forgets how much it cost you. Maybe that's why it hurts so much when you finally walk away from someone you love deeply. Because it's not just the person you're leaving. It's the version of yourself that existed with them, the version that laughed harder, loved deeper, believed more. Losing them feels like losing a part of you too. And it's okay to admit that. It's okay to miss someone who hurt you. It's okay to wish things had been different, even when you know they can't be. Healing doesn't mean pretending you never cared. It means learning to love them from a distance, without losing yourself again. I think one of the hardest parts of moving on is forgiving yourself for still feeling. We tend to shame ourselves for missing someone we should be over. We think it makes us weak or foolish, but it doesn't. It makes you human. Because love doesn't vanish when logic arrives. It fades slowly, tenderly, over time. Maybe your heart still wants them because deep down, you're still mourning the story you thought you'd have. You're grieving the version of the future that never happened. The holidays you won't spend together, the mornings you'll wake up alone. You're not just missing them. You're missing the dream you built around them. And that's why it's so difficult to let go completely. Because how do you let go of a version of your life that felt so real? How do you accept that something that once meant everything is now just a memory? The truth is, you don't forget people like that. You learn to live around the space they left behind. One day you wake up and the ache is quieter. You still think of them, but it doesn't hurt the same way. The longing becomes softer, the memories less sharp. And that's when you realize your heart didn't betray you by holding on. It was just giving you time to heal. Healing is not about erasing someone. It's about understanding what they meant. It's about realizing that sometimes love teaches you through loss, and sometimes the people who break your heart are the same ones who awaken it. I remember someone once told me, the people who impact your soul never really leave, they just change form. Maybe that's true. Maybe they live in the lessons, in the strength you gained, in the way you now understand what love should feel like. Maybe you carry them not as a wound, but as a whisper, reminding you to never settle for half connection again. You might still feel their presence sometimes, in dreams, in songs, in the way your heart skips when you see someone who looks like them. But don't mistake that for failure. It's not weakness to still feel. It's a sign that you love deeply. And that kind of love always leaves a mark. If you ever catch yourself wondering why you still miss them, ask yourself this: are you missing them? Or are you missing the way you felt when you were with them? Because often, what we truly long for isn't the person, but the version of ourselves that felt alive, seen, wanted. And that version of you, you can still find them again. You don't need that person to feel that way. You can rebuild yourself piece by piece, not as someone's half, but as someone whole. One day, you'll meet someone new, and you'll realize that love doesn't have to feel like pain. It doesn't have to be a storm you survive. It can be calm, grounding, peaceful. And that's when you'll understand that your heart wasn't wrong for holding on. It was just remembering what it means to feel deeply. So, if your heart still wants someone your mind already left, don't fight it. Let it ache. Let it remember. But also let it heal, because the same heart that once broke for them will one day beat peacefully again for someone else. Maybe even for yourself. And maybe, just maybe, that's what real closure looks like. Not forgetting them, but forgiving yourself for remembering. If you and I are anything alike, if you've ever loved someone who left a mark you can still feel years later, then you already know. Some loves don't leave, they just live differently inside us. And if you want to keep walking this path with me, then subscribe.